Before we get started with today's review, I want to take you back to November of 2006. I was talking to a friend of mine in school about what new 360 games he'd been playing, and he brought up Gears of War. I asked him what it was, and he told me that it was a new cover shooting game. Now, as we started talking about it, I didn't really think anything of it, until my friend told me that this game had a machine gun with a chainsaw attached to it. And suffice it to say, that piqued my interest. Gears of War has gone on to be quite a memorable series, with 3 main games, a spin-off game, countless novels and comics, and its feature film that still hasn't seen the light of day, and probably never will. And to prepare us for the future with Gears of War 4, and celebrate the almost 10 years since the franchise inception, the Coalition has remastered the original title that started it all. And even with all that time under its belt, this remaster proves that the original Gears has still got it. Gears of War takes place on a planet called Serra. For many years, the nations of this planet have been at war with each other, until finally peace is reached, and the people of Serra seem to be ready to move on. However, cutting this peace abruptly short is the invasion of the Locust, humanoid-like monsters that have burrowed their way out of the ground with no purpose other than to kill anyone in their path. The Locusts begin a new war for the planet of Serra as they become a force to be reckoned with. In an attempt to dispel the Locust invasion, the remaining humans choose to burn their cities with a satellite weapon called the Hammer of Dawn. However, this only slows down the Locust invasion and the war continues on. The game picks up 14 years after the Locusts arrive on the scene, with soldier Dom Santiago breaking his old friend Marcus Phoenix out of prison to take part in a new plan that the army has to wipe out the Locusts for good. The game's overall story follows Delta Squad, including Marcus and Dom, and grows to include the paranoid Damon Baird and the former Trash Bowl star Augustus Coltrane. After the prison break, the game makes your mission clear. Find a device that will help the Coalition of Bordered Governments, or COG, defeat the Locusts. Each mission you get closer and closer to that goal, while it introduces various types of locusts to stop you in your path. The best part of the story is the dynamics between Delta Squad. The 4 members are all very unique and each have their own personalities, and it's this dynamic that really wants to make you see the game to the end, just to see whether all of Delta Squad will make it out alive. The Ultimate Edition also includes 5 bonus chapters that were only included in the PC version until now. While these chapters don't necessarily expand on the plot, they bulk up Act 5 considerably, and in the original game, Act 5 basically just consisted of the train sequences and final battle with Ram. Thanks to the added chapters, Act 5 doesn't seem like such a quick wrap-up, but it's a welcome addition. The gameplay to Gears has been untouched for the Ultimate Edition, and that's probably for the best. The shooting mechanics in Gears are immensely enjoyable and satisfying, and it works great in relation to the cover system. You'll pop in and out of cover, sliding around, taking shots when you can. Well-placed shots can bring enemies to their knees, and then you can finish the job by curb-stomping their heads into oblivion. Close quarters combat has you either blind firing at the hip or striking an enemy with your current gun, though the best option for close quarters combat is using your Lancer, which comes equipped with a chainsaw that works best in these situations. There are also quite a nice variety of guns to use. You got your standard assault rifles and shotguns and sniper rifles, but then there are some cooler additions like the Torque Bow and the Hammer of Dawn. The Torque Bow allows you to place explosive arrows into your enemies for some quick kills, while the Hammer of Dawn streams down a laser beam from the sky, incinerating everything in its path. One of Gears' signature design choices within its gunplay is the active reload system. When you need to reload your gun, you're given a short window in which to time out your reload. Timing your reload at the most precise time will not only have you reloading the gun faster, but will allow you to cause more damage. It's awesome to be able to take shots at an enemy, go in for the reload, time it perfectly, and then blast the hell out of the next guy coming your way. A bit of a negative to all this gameplay, though, is the AI system for your fellow Delta Squad members. On the easier settings, they'll most likely survive encounters and provide help when they can. However, on hardcore and insane difficulties, you're pretty much on your own. While I was playing on hardcore, I found my squad members dropping to their knees within seconds of every encounter, leaving me to handle the entire situation or risk my life trying to raise them off the ground. The best remedy to this situation is playing in co-op with another person, although occasionally during the co-op sections you do have to be paired with the AI in some split-up sections, which can cause a few more headaches. In regards to the multiplayer mode, it's a blast to play and it runs beautifully now, but it has a few shortcomings. The modes from the original Gears are all here, including King of the Hill, which was added from the PC release. The one disappointing thing here is that none of the modes that were introduced from Gears 2 onward are included, and that means there's no Horde mode, which seems like a big missed opportunity. And this may have something to do with the fact that Microsoft had recently announced before the game's launch that all of the other Gear titles will be available as part of the backwards compatibility program on the Xbox One when it launches in November, and apparently when these games launch, their multiplayer modes are going to be intact. Regardless, multiplayer is still a lot of fun, and there's an included leveling system, which is a nice incentive to keep on playing to rise through the ranks. Though the matchmaking system can be a tad unbalanced at times. Don't be surprised if you're only a level 5 when you start out, but you're up against a team of level 40s getting your ass handed to you. The presentation is by far the best thing about the Ultimate Edition, and that's not too surprising given the new hardware. The in-game visuals have received updates to lighting and the color palette, and this makes many of the darker areas from the original really stand out. If you ever thought the original Gears looked a tad too gray, well, this update will definitely bring out the colors. The cutscenes have been completely redone and now utilize motion capture in order to get the most realistic facial features out of all the characters. The redone cutscenes are very well done, and it definitely brings out more of a cinematic quality to the presentation. The one pet peeve that you might take with this redone presentation is that it's not going to apply to the backwards compatible sequels come November, which kind of seems like a shame. For seeing all these redone cutscenes, it really made me want to see the rest of the Gears trilogy with the same visual upgrades. The soundtrack, while it hasn't been redone, does sound much more vibrant, and it's thrilling when the music kicks in during a firefight. I had a lot of fun revisiting Gears of War, and this Ultimate Edition definitely got me in the mood to play the rest of the trilogy come November. If you've already experienced Gears before, then the Ultimate Edition is worth a look just for the nostalgia factor that comes along with it. If you've never played Gears before and you're interested in a third-person shooter, you definitely should check this out. And if you end up liking it, the sequels will be given to you, again when the backwards compatibility kicks in, for free if you play this game before the end of the year. Gears of War is just good old fun shooting with very little holding it back. Yeah, the AI sucks beyond belief, but that flaw is easily remedied when you play with another person, which I highly recommend as it makes the game even that more fun. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next Chris Bond 21 Reviews.